It's a late, humid night in the city, a city that never quite sleeps but rather sighs through its restless hours. The streets below are alive with a gentle hum, a mix of distant chatter, the occasional screech of a passing car, and the soothing rustle of leaves. Inside the towering glass and steel of the Metropolitan Hospital, the scene is strikingly different. The hum here is not of the city's pulse but the quiet, rhythmic sounds of machinery and the soft shuffle of nurses' shoes on cold floors. It's in this place that our story begins. A place where lives are saved, yet lives are also forever altered by choices made in the shadows. Dr. Aaron Mitchell stood by the large window in the break room, his broad figure framed by the moonlit sky. The city sprawled beneath him, a sea of twinkling lights and the steady pulse of urban life. Yet Aaron's mind was elsewhere, lost in the complexity of a decision that would change everything. His gaze lingered on the nurse who had just walked into the room, her presence undeniable like a quiet storm. Emma Reynolds, a nurse in her mid-30s with eyes that spoke of secrets and a smile that promised warmth, walked towards him with her usual grace. She was someone who had been working here for years, yet there was something about her that never seemed entirely part of the world around her. She stood in sharp contrast to the sterile walls and the meticulous precision of the medical profession, a world of rules and order. Aaron and Emma's story began years ago when they first met in this very hospital, their paths crossing countless times in the chaos of hospital life. They were partners in a way that could never truly be acknowledged. It was easy at first, the stolen moments, the quiet glances, the shared laughter. But as time passed, something darker grew between them, a bond of lust, desire, and the undeniable pull of something more. A secret, hidden in plain sight, kept from prying eyes. It wasn't that they hadn't tried to stop. They both knew the stakes. Emma had her life to live, and Aaron had a career that could crumble under the weight of a scandal. Yet despite their best efforts, the moments between them only grew more intense. The stolen touches, the whispered words in dark hallways, the quiet meetings in storage rooms. It was thrilling, intoxicating, and dangerous. But above all, it was something neither of them could quit. Tonight, as Aaron stood by the window, his heart raced. He had just ended a shift, his mind cluttered with medical charts and patient information, but all of it felt irrelevant now. What mattered, what consumed him, was the woman standing before him. Emma was here again. It wasn't just a physical attraction anymore. It was something more complex. He could feel it. Feel the weight of her gaze, the slight tension in her posture, the way her fingers fidgeted with the hem of her scrubs. She was nervous, and for the first time in a long while, so was he. "Emma," he said, his voice low, the sound of his own name in the air heavy with anticipation. She met his gaze, a faint flicker of something unreadable in her eyes. "Aaron, we need to talk." The words hit him like a cold slap. She wasn't looking at him the way she usually did, with longing or warmth. Instead, there was something else, something unfamiliar. Something was wrong. "I know," he replied, his voice steady but his stomach churning. "What's going on?" Emma took a step closer, her movements deliberate. She paused just in front of him, her face mere inches from his. Her breath was warm against his skin, but the usual comfort was gone, replaced by a raw intensity. "I can't keep doing this, Aaron. The lies, the hiding. It's not worth it anymore." His chest tightened. "Emma, you're not making sense." "I'm pregnant, Aaron," she whispered, her words cutting through the thick air like a blade. "And I'm not sure I can do this alone." For a moment, time seemed to freeze. The weight of her words sank in slowly, too slowly, like stones dropping into a pond. Aaron's mind spun. He stared at her, his brain struggling to comprehend what she had just said. Pregnant. The word echoed in his mind. The tension that had been building between them suddenly shifted. It was no longer about them, about their secret meetings or their stolen moments. It was about something bigger, something that neither of them could control. Emma wasn't just a nurse anymore. She was carrying a part of him, something permanent, something undeniable. Aaron's eyes shifted toward the window. The city lights now blurred behind a veil of confusion and fear. He could feel his pulse quicken, the panic rising like a tide. His mind raced through scenarios, each more disastrous than the last. What if someone found out? What if the hospital's management learned of their affair? What if his career was ruined, his entire life torn apart because of a single mistake? But Emma was still there, waiting for him to say something, to make sense of this, to offer her a way out. Her eyes were filled with hope and fear, and for the first time in their secret relationship, Aaron saw the truth of it. This was real. This wasn't just an affair. This was something that would change their lives forever. "I don't know what to say," he muttered, his voice a mere whisper, almost as if speaking aloud might break the fragile moment they were in. "You don't have to say anything," Emma replied, her voice shaking. "I just need you to be honest with me, Aaron. What are we doing? Where do we go from here?" The question hung in the air between them, thick with unresolved tension. And for the first time, Aaron didn't have an answer. He wasn't sure he ever would. As the days passed, the hospital continued its hum, unaffected by the turmoil simmering beneath its sterile surface. But Aaron and Emma's lives were far from normal. Emma was distant now, withdrawn into herself. The lightness she once had, the laughter that had always flowed so easily between them, was gone. In its place was a quiet, suffocating tension, a gnawing uncertainty that neither of them could shake. Aaron tried to keep his distance, tried to focus on his patients, but it wasn't enough. His thoughts were consumed by Emma, by the consequences of their actions and the life that was now growing inside her. The weight of it all pressed down on him, a constant reminder of his failure to control the situation. And then, just when he thought things couldn't get worse, they did. One afternoon, as Aaron was walking through the hospital corridor, he saw something that stopped him dead in his tracks. There, standing at the nurse's station, was Tanya. Tanya was Emma's best friend and had been for years, but her gaze, sharp and accusatory, told Aaron everything he needed to know. She knew. Tanya's eyes locked onto his, and for a brief moment, the air between them seemed to crackle. There was no greeting, no pretense, just a cold, hard silence that spoke volumes. Tanya had always been sharp, someone who observed everything and missed nothing. She knew about Aaron and Emma's affair, and now she was going to make sure the entire world knew as well. The betrayal, the weight of it, hit Aaron like a freight train. The reality of the situation wasn't just about him and Emma anymore. It was about everyone they worked with, everyone who would now be involved in the fallout. Tanya's eyes never left his, her expression cold, but there was something else beneath it. A sense of victory, of power. She was going to destroy them. Aaron's chest tightened. He could feel the walls closing in. This wasn't just about a love affair anymore. This was about survival. Tanya wasn't going to let them go without consequences. She would tear them apart, piece by piece, until there was nothing left. And in that moment, Aaron understood the true cost of betrayal.